Hey, so glad you're back. So, we are talking about the Grief Storm cards and we are focusing on the coping cards. And so, I wanted to give you a little bit of some ways that these coping cards could be most helpful to you. So, if your card deck is at a place where your kids can access it at any time, that's a great way to start using it. The biggest, most important tip is don't start using the tools when you're in the midst of the crisis. And what I mean by that is some of these strategies or tools you want to have practiced a few times before you pull them out during the midst of a big grief storm moment. Because sometimes if we move into teaching mode when our kid is in the middle of a crisis, it's only going to increase the storm. It's only going to make them frustrated, make you irritated, and it's just not going to end well. So what I'm going to do is I have created a video for each one of the tools to make sure that you know about the specifics of each tool, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview. So there are some breathing techniques, some grounding techniques. A big thing for our kids is moving this energy, these big feelings through their body rather than letting them store them or just avoid them or stuff them down. Because what we know about grief is if we don't address it, it will wait for us. It will find us later. It will store itself in our body. So maybe the person we loved died when we were 5 and we didn't address it till we were 15 or maybe even 30, that grief will just sit there and wait, and it just gets bigger and stronger and comes out as different health problems. And so that's why these coping tools are so important. And the thing is, the things that I am teaching you are not just grief specific. It's really important to me that the tools that I share with you are multi-purpose and they're tools that work for you and for your child. And they're tools that whether you have a toddler, whether you have a middle schooler, whether you have a high schooler, these tools work if you're willing to get curious and experiment with them, and the same for your kids. So again, back to the different types, there are lots of activities that are about physical movement, getting up and moving, getting out in nature, and then some specific movements or energy ways to move these feelings up and out of our body so that they don't get trapped. Again, those I will go into specifics under each video. So if you're curious about one, but you already know how to do another, then you don't have to watch all of the videos. Again, I would really encourage you to try one and kind of make it where you're testing it out, you're experimenting with it for the week. So you talk to your kids, you share with them, hey, this week when we get upset, when we get angry, when we're feeling down or sad, we're going to try maybe this breathing technique, and we're going to use that to see if it works. And then at the end of the week, let's talk about, did that one work or didn't it? And it might work for some of your kids and it might not. Or maybe you find a way to adapt it so that it does. Again, those are things I can help you with if you're getting stuck and not sure how to adapt it to your child's age, or if you have a kiddo who is being stubborn and doesn't want to do any of them, which is very common, especially when we're talking about kids in grief, because they are wanting some control. They want to feel like this out of control thing happened to me, the loss of a parent, the death of a grandparent or a sibling, and they just want to know that they're safe, that things are going to be okay. And the fastest way to do that for kids and for adults is to try to be in control, try to take charge. And so they're going to say no. So just know it's very common that that's your kid's response. There's nothing that you're doing wrong, but keep encouraging. And again, if you can kind of keep it lighter and more playful, like we're just experimenting, we're trying these things out. This might work for you, it might not. But letting them have a voice, they're going to be less likely to resist you in the first place. So I wish you all the luck with the tools. If you need help, please reach out.